Back on the show you didn't know you can't live without, Drew and KB. We are live today on a beautiful Monday in the good land at the Wisconsin Club Country Club for the 10th annual Swing for the Kettle Invitational with our friends from Salvation Army. Our buddy KB and Zabe and Kuhn are out on the course swinging it for charity. Me and Hunter are on the patio sipping some drinks out here on this lovely veranda. And there will be no segue today because we don't need one. When it comes to people talking Packers, there's one guy we go to on Monday, every Monday, and it's Aaron Nagler. And our conversations with Nags are presented by Miller Lite Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. And Rogers Behavioral Health. Nags, we just heard the beginning of Matt LaFleur's press conference, and the coach is a little salty today. How would you describe your demeanor?
My demeanor's a little better. I've been taking the day to kind of relax and reflect and understand that, yes, that was a frustrating loss, but, man, it's a long season. A lot of ball game left. No doubt should have stole that one, but I can't get too down about it.
In some ways, I think it's kind of a positive sign that we're pissed that they lost.
I know. Right? Especially with a team that coming out of the summer, no one knew what to expect. Vegas had them finishing last in the division. No one knew what to expect from Jordan Love. 2 weeks in, and it's like, oh, we should have killed that team.
That's when you're up double digits in the fourth quarter, that's going to come naturally.
No question.
Matt LaFleur just said that film was tough to watch. That would have him on edge anyway, but he seems really, really salty about the David Bakhtiari question. So let's start there.
Right.
Your reaction when you found out that he was a scratch, I was slack-jawed. I'm like, what?
Were you really?
Well, something happened during the week. It's like that was the people were saying, and that was the thrust of the kind of the early reaction. It's like, how could that be? He didn't practice during the week. So, all right, where are you with this? Because LaFleur just said, like, he's injured, like he's got a knee thing, and there's swelling. Okay.
Yep.
So my take is instantly, and then we have, thanks to Twitter, we know what his brother posted. If David Bakhtiari is indeed going to plant his flag and say, I'm not playing on turf, you bastards, and Goodell.
But he hasn't said that. This is my thing.
If he was going to, well, he did say that last week, but he didn't say that's why he didn't play. Now, in the breach of information, people leap to the conclusion.
Yes,
and they could have put out this fire, but they did not. I'm not Ari Fleischer, but I'll waive the consulting fee and say, get out in front of this and tell us, we drained fluid from his knee, or he had a setback in the weight, or whatever it is. Tell us so that people don't go from A to D.
Well, people are going to go to A to D regardless. You know this. But I will say, look here, I understand why Matt is frustrated with this, because he's answered now between after the game yesterday and now today's press conference, 6 questions have been asked about David Bakhtiari's knee. David's hurt. He's got swelling. If David wants to speak on it, he should or can. It's not the coach's place. It's a medical issue. No doubt. And here's the thing that drives me insane about, okay, he didn't practice last week, and then he's a scratch, and everyone's up in arms, and he's clearly just avoiding the turf. Maybe he is. I don't know that. He hasn't said a word about it, but he played a full game of football in Chicago and now has missed a game. So it's like maybe playing that full game of football did something to his knee that he missed 2 years of football because of. It's like, did everyone forget what he went through just to get back on the field in the first place regarding having to drain his knee 15 times in a one calendar year span? He's dealing with something that's pretty unprecedented. And I understand he's been very vocal about turf and getting rid of turf, but everyone leaping to the fact that, he's clearly not playing because they're playing on turf. Can we hear him say that first before everyone condemns the man? Because I have no idea, one way or the other. But I'm not going to sit here and work myself up about, he's clearly letting the team down. He's not playing on turf. Can we know that for a fact before we start casting grenades at the man, please? That's all I ask.
All right. Aaron Nagler, Cheesehead TV, joining us. So should our default setting be that until you see him not on the inactive list to think that he is unlikely to play? They're playing 2 games this week in 4 days.
Yes.
Right. So I
would
in
Lambeau. Both in Lambeau.
Packers would hope to have him for one of those.
You would hope
most
so.
Fans would.
You would hope so.
The idea of 2
Jordan
would
Love
be,
definitely would.
The idea that he would play both is kind of a Christmas wish, kind of a fantasy, right? Kind of.
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know the severity of the injury. This is the problem. We don't have any medical information. This is what drives me nuts about injury speculation. It's like they have all the information. We know he's hurt. That's all we as the public are ever going to know. Like the idea that, oh, he should gut it out. What are we talking about? I have no idea the specifics of the injury.
Very true. Nags, that's just the beginning of the frustration, though, because the implosion that happened in the second half yesterday was frustrating to watch, but it was definitely team-wide. Everybody had a hand. Coaches, players,
team implosion,
your best players,
team failure, no doubt.
Your absolute best players didn't come through. Like Quay Walker gets hit in the face. He just picked off a pass last week and took it to the house. He gets hit in the face with one that he should have caught. Ja drops a pick six.
Should have been a house
being
call.
A net minus 4 points.
Yep.
And that's the difference in the game.
Yep.
We love Rashawn Gary, but he bit on a play in the open field that everybody saw. He blew an assignment. That's a touchdown. That should have probably been an extinguished fourth down play.
Correct.
Everybody was culpable on balance. So it's almost like, what's
talking about balance. A.J. Dillon can't keep his balance. It's yes, everybody across the board. And look, there are plenty of plays in that game. You go back and watch the tape and you look at the opportunities. You're talking about some big ones, and there are little ones as well, where if they just make, like, there's a pass that Ritter makes in the fourth quarter that it looks on balance that it should have absolutely been knocked down, and for whatever reason, the ball is just missed, and the tight end catches it, and they continue the drive, and it was paper cut after paper cut after paper cut. But with all of that said, all those opportunities are there, no question about it. The lack of complementary football, we talked about this so much last year regarding an offense in the fourth quarter that legit goes out there for 40 seconds on a 3-and-out to put the defense right back out there after they'd been out there for a very long scoring drive. This is against Atlanta, who we know want to pound the rock. They got two really fantastic running backs. They have a very physical offensive line. And for whatever reason, Joe Barry and company decide to play what I would consider a pretty soft coverage and a pretty soft kind of MO of we're going to allow everything to happen in front of us, but we're going to rally and tackle. Well, they rallied and tackled the length of the field, pretty much the entire fourth quarter. And at some point, you have to make that play to get off the field and try to, I think, dictate to the opponent rather than allowing the opponent to live in second and short, third and short. That makes it real easy for an offensive play caller. But then on the flip side, you cannot dismiss everything that happened on offense, whether it is the first play on the series that ended up being 40 seconds long and they kicked the punt. That first play in that series, there's a touchdown to be had there if Jordan Love doesn't throw to Wicks, looks at the other read, and then you think, okay, that's a missed opportunity. It happens to every quarterback. No problem there. But then you come down with your second down run and you got A.J. Dillon for no yardage, and now you're in third and long. And it's these missed opportunities of you get back to the next series and they go 3 runs in a row, can't pick up the first down. They're kind of just chasing their tail. They're reacting to themselves rather than dictating to the defense or to the opponent. And that's the frustration, kind of watching it play out.
Especially when the first play of the game was like so awesome and like just incredible
so fun,
call.
No doubt.
Great. You get the PI, the defensive PI. That should have set a tone. But next, when we were with you Friday, we thought there was a chance Aaron Jones would play, and we were pretty sure David Bakhtiari was going to play. All right, so you take them off the equation. But we had said whichever team controls the line of scrimmage in the run game is going to win this game. That ended up happening.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that the Packers' defensive front got such an impressive push and penetration against the Bears, and then were kind of non-existent? That was not there. Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, they look like world beaters. And I know the Bears suck, but the Falcons are only a notch or two ahead.
Right.
So what happened there, and why was that drop-off?
Well, I don't know. I think you're being pretty dismissive of the Falcons, especially up front along their offensive line. They've got some really good, especially run-blocking offensive linemen, and I think you saw that on display yesterday. I do think the Packers' scheme lends itself to the ability to stop the run and or play defense if you can control things with 4. You've got those 2 down defensive linemen, to which Joe usually trots out there, and then the 2 outside backers, right? And those 4 guys, if they can control the line and the line of scrimmage, then you're cooking with gas. The problem you ran into yesterday is that just didn't happen more often than not on some of these, especially early down runs. I don't doubt for a moment that if the game is played in with one of those kind of interceptions, like say to your point, Jock gets that pick six, and you've got a bit of a bigger lead. Now you're cooking because they have to throw at that point. But as long as they were able to run the ball and stay in second and short, or second and manageable, like second and 3, second and 4, you've got the whole play sheet open to you as a play caller, and that means Joe Barry has to keep everything kind of open to him. And if you're a road grading, pound it football team, that is going to play to your strengths, because there were so many instances in that second half where they just played math. They legit just, okay, we're in pistol, and if there are 2 down linemen, I'm going to run it up the middle. And then you added that third lineman after we've gassed you a couple plays. Now we know we're just going to pin and pull, and we're going to get outside. And it happened almost with, I'm not going to say with ease, because these guys do way too much work to say that, but they were not able to dictate to the Falcons in any meaningful way in that second half, and it cost them.
All right, Nags, final thing on the way out. We could just spend hours and hours, and you're going to spend all week. It'll be nice when we get to change the page and get on to New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
We got to pick through this for a little bit longer. Have you seen a guy's fall in terms of Q rating faster than A.J. Dillon, the beloved mayor of Door County, who is now being regarded as just a guy? And it's like, it's one thing to get a yard and a half on 3rd and 2 and do that consistently, but when you're leg whipping the second best All-Pro the offensive lineman in front of you and hurting him as you're stumbling. Where are you on A.J. Dillon? And should they have pivoted and gone to Emmanuel Patrick more than they did?
I don't think so. I mean, he's your guy, and he's the one you've spent the entire offseason kind of building around, right? And as far as, yes, the other guys have shown talent. Wilson especially was very explosive in the preseason. But, Rasheed Walker looked good in the preseason and had his issues yesterday. It just ramps up, and everything is different. I do not doubt for a moment that A.J. has the ability to do what the Packers need him to do to win football games. We've seen it. He's done it. Hell, he did it at times yesterday. But some of these plays where he just seems to lose his balance, he's kind of, and I know he spoke about it in the locker room today, just getting out over his skates, essentially, where he's just kind of, maybe he's so excited to try and make a play. I don't know what it is, but he needs to kind of center himself a little bit. His equilibrium seems off. And look, I'm talking from the outside looking in. Who knows what's going on in anybody's world, right? Those guys, they're all humans out there. Who knows? I have no idea. But, man, it's pretty apparent that it's not just a 1-week thing. It's a 2-week thing. It goes back to last season. And the frustrating part is we've seen him do it. His rookie year, even his second year, we've seen him be very productive in this offense. So he can do it. And as a coach, that's the frustration. And Matt alluded to that a little bit just now in his press conference. They got to look at schematically what they're asking him to do, because we know there are plenty of plays in this offense that he can shine in. I just think they need a bit of a reset when it comes to A.J., and that will help him out.
Tell me they're not going to bring back the toss because they want to get him going, please. Just, oh, God, no.
Oh, God. If they do, it'll probably be to the short side. If I see one more short side toss in this offense, I am going to leap out a window. The number of times we saw that yesterday, a Packer man had to fear for his life.
Can't do it. Nags, great stuff. It's going to be a busy week at cheeseheadtv.com. And the Carry the G show tomorrow.
That's right. Carry the G radio tomorrow afternoon, buddy. Can't wait.
We got more to unpack. Thanks, Nags.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Nags and all of our green and gold go-to guys.